Yes, welcome to my video. In this video, we'll see how to integrate the Open AI Chat GPT legacy model, which is the old model, the DaVinci-003 in your Android app. You can refer to my other tutorial where I have shown for the latest model, which is Chat GPT 3.5 Turbo model. So let's begin. We'll create a new project. Next, Chat GPT DaVinci-003. Yeah. You can I will do probably app. You can name it anything, click finish, wait for the environment to load, it might take a while. In the meantime, I'll just quickly take you to the documentation part. So if you go to the ChatGPT or openai.com and the reference part, so in this from the left hand side, so if you go to chat and competition, so competition is where it was the older the legacy, even here they are putting legacy, right? So yeah, this is the endpoint what they mention, and the model they mention, model and prompt and all are over here. So we'll be using this in our code, Android code, Java code, and we'll be modeling this. For the other one, the latest model, you can go to this chat, and over here you will get for GPT 3.5 Turbo. So for this, I have made another video. Please refer to that one. Okay, so our focus will be this one. When the environment is loading up, in the meantime, I'll also do one thing. So I think environment is still loading up. I'll create the API key for accessing. So log into your account. I already logged in. Go to your manage account. In the manage account, there will be a place called API keys. Go there, create new key, and in this one, probably what we can name it as text-davinci-003. Yeah. You don't have to keep the same name, probably. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll just name DaVinci-003 model. Yeah, it's an optional name, by the way. And then click here, create key, and then copy this key. Please don't miss out to copy and store it somewhere, because once it will be just displayed once. Okay, by the way, I'll change this key, so don't use my key. Yeah, I'll change this key. So as you say, you won't be able to view it again, so don't miss out to copy it and store it somewhere in your local. So click done, and then I think that's all. And then you can also go to your usage to track the usage of your API, but we'll be referring to this page to get the details. Now coming to Android Studio, I think our environment is there. So first and foremost, I think few things which we'll have to do. One is manifest file. We have to do the declaration to use internet. Okay, so yeah, this is the first thing. And also in the Gradle file, we'll have to implement something called Volley, Android Volley library, because that's what we'll be using to create our JSON object. So just do implementation, and I think com.android. First one I think here. So this one will include that, and then just click sync now. It will take a while to sync all the things. In the meantime, what we can do is we can go to our layout. Okay, and over here by default we have got text view. I'll keep it as it is. The only thing is I'll give some ID so that I can refer it from my Java code as well. And I'll put a button here. So this button could be I can name it as Chat GPT DaVinci model. You can name it anything, it doesn't matter. Give the required constraints. Okay, for a little bit. Just zoom in so it's easy for you to visualize. Okay, and in the main Java code, what we'll do is we'll create a public method, public void button chat GPT DaVinci model. You can name this method anything, it doesn't matter. No, I think I should be view. Yeah, and press alt enter so that the required things gets imported. Go back to your layout, and for this button, just scroll down, you'll get on click attribute, assign this particular method to that, and then I think we are all set from the layout perspective. Other things what we may have to do is create some class variables. One of them will be of course text view, so that we can access the text view widget from our layout. Okay, find view by id r.id.textView. I think that should be fine. Also, I'll create a few other class variables. For example, one will be of type string, and that will hold the string API key. What we just now copied to our this file, text file. So this one probably we can copy from here, control C, control V. Perfect. What else we may need is private string endpoint URL. So what we can do it is string endpoint URL, and here again we may have to go back to the documentation page, and what I can do it is in this page create, this is the endpoint what we have to use. So I'll just use this one. Perfect. Okay, and what else I'll need is probably so but just be careful over here with the endpoint. Don't interchange or don't get confused. This is for the legacy models such as DaVinci. If you are using the latest models, which is like basically GPT 3.5 or GPT 4, this is the endpoint. So these endpoints are different if you observe carefully. So we are working with the completions and not with the chat over here. Okay, so the technical details of this I'll not get into this tutorial. My focus is to develop an app in this tutorial. Okay. One more class variable we need is, which is probably to store the output. So I'll just do string output, whatever it comes. So we'll keep on concatenating it in this particular variable. I think most of the things are done. So I'll come to the my main method where I'll be implementing my logic. First and foremost, we'll create something JSON object. Okay. So JSON object and new JSON object, and we'll be using this to put our required methods or required parameters. So one by one we can use put and then the name and value pair. So what we can do it is, so if you go back to the documentation, so here there are two things which is definitely required, the model and the prompt. Okay, so one by one we can copy. Try to copy it directly from here because these are case sensitive, and something goes wrong then it will be difficult for you to understand. And the model will be again I'll go back to this one. Model is this text DaVinci, so I'll just copy from here, control C, control V. Perfect. Similarly, what else I'll need is the other one, so which is, if I come here, that is prompt, so I can copy it from here, control C, control V. And this is the basically the question you may ask. So I will ask some random question: who won the what FIFA World Cup in what FIFA World Cup, or I will say who won the 2018, right? The last I think it was France, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, let's see what the answers they say. But there's some issue over here. Let me see what is the issue. Sound will try catch no column. Yeah. So I think what I can do is I can just include control X, control V, everything into this one try catch. And I think that's all mostly required. But I think some of the other parameters which we can use and we should use is max tokens, because this is a bit important, which is the number of characters or integers what that will return, temperature, and so on and so forth. I'll not get into the technical details. You can read it here, or probably I'll make another video, but right now I'll focus on this part. Okay, so I'll just define two more. Probably I'll define this one, max tokens definitely, and the value of this will be in integer form. So probably I can take it what 100, and the last one will be the temperature. So again I will prefer to copy paste from here. I can type, the spellings are simple, but you never know, I mean, and there is no way to cross verify. So temperature one is the default one which I'm using over here. Okay, so if I proceed, I'll create something called JSON object request. So that's a part of the Volley library. That's why I think by default you will not get in the suggestion list, but when you type it completely, it will give you to include the required Volley library, and create this and new JSON object request. And in this one, there I think the last one is what we'll be using, the last signature, which is this one, int method. So method is the post method, right? So request, no, I'm not getting it. Request dot method dot post. Yeah, so we need to post this, and then the second is the string URL, which is basically the endpoint, right? So what we can do it is we can use our endpoint URL. Yeah, perfect. The third argument will be JSON object. Okay, so we have just not defined on top, right? JSON object, Then that is done. Then now we need to define something called as listener, which is basically for the successful. Okay, so what we can do is we can create a new response listener. Yeah, so this will be the case when the things are successful, and then the last argument is for the error listener. So this also we will define. It's better to have it. So again here I'll make it new response error listener. Yeah, perfect. And then I think we are done. We'll put a full stop and so on and so forth. I'll get into the details, but let me quickly just run this or trigger this response. So that what we can do, how we can do it is just define something called volley dot new request queue, and the context will be of course get application context, and then dot add, and then add the request just now we have created, which is basically the JSON object request. Perfect. So that's all. Now let me see when it's successful and error what we should do. So we can fetch the response when it's successful. So let's fetch it. So here we define a variable called string output, right? So we can use that plus response dot get, I think get JSON. Okay, let me see. Again, I'll have to refer to the documentation. So this will be my response. Okay, and in this response, I have to refer to this something called as choices over here. So I'll copy this over here, and this is a part of an array. It will give me another array. So let me get the dot get JSON array, and the string name will be of course choices. And then what else? No, I'm not sure why. I think I can do it here itself. And inside the choices, I will have to get the object, JSON object, JSON object, and index will be of course 0th index. The first one is what I want to fetch, and then I can get the string out of it. Get string, and the string, the parameter name over here will be what text over here. Yeah. So this is the response what we'll be getting in this form. So they give all lots of other information as well, but we are just interested in this part, so that's why I'm just fetching this much. And again there's some errors. Let me see what is the error. On with try catch. Yeah, so it's always better. And once we have it, then what we can do it is probably we can use this text view to set the text, and we can use the string output here. Okay, I think I have not started the emulator yet, so let me also start the emulator in parallel, which may take a while. Okay, so I have triggered it, and I'll just make it smaller over here so that yeah it comes up. In the meantime, I have to just now complete this error part. Okay, so error part will be simple. Probably in the error part, what we can do it is we can write the error in the text view, or okay, for simplicity I'll just leave it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you there is an error part where you can do your other logics if required. You can do some kind of error handling and all. So I think that's all is what I feel. I don't think there is anything more required to be done here in this code. It's such a simple straightforward code. So I think something has come up on the right hand side. Let me see. Emulator has come. So let me click and see if it works or not. So I clicked it, and no, I didn't see any response because the text view is what I was expecting to for it to change. So let me do one thing. Let me rerun the code quickly and see what is happening. So I was expecting to come here, but I think on having a quick look at the code, I can understand what's the problem here. So if you notice, we haven't used our API key still. The basically, so there's no way to authenticate. So I think what I missed out is adding the header to this particular JSON. So what I can do over here, I can come here and add the header. So for that override, no, not here, I think. Override, and then the method could be get, okay, public void get. I can do one thing. Wait, get, yeah, this is the method which I want. And over here what I can do is I can yeah define my header. So again if I go back to the documentation, I think they will be helping me out to define the header. So these are the two things which I have to put in my header. So let me go back there and create a header variable. So map header, yeah, and this could be what, new hashtag map, perfect. And one by one we can update this. Okay, so dot put, and one of the argument could be our authorization as said here. So again I'll prefer to copy paste from here, which is a string. So first part is string, and second part is also string as we have defined in our map. So second part authorization will be, if I go back here, it will be error, and then this some key. So I'll first wait. I'll do one thing, Control C. I'll come here, Control V. Make sure there is a space here left, okay? Otherwise it will give error. And then here I can add that API key over here. Perfect. So this is the first one, and then the second one could be, again I'll have to go back here, which is content type. So I'll just Control C and come back here, Control V, and content type is what, application JSON. Yeah, Control V. Perfect. So I think let me rerun. Hopefully this time it should work. I think I missed out adding a headers, and there is no way to do the authentication. So I rerun and click that. Let's see what happens now. Okay, again some mistake here. So I'm not returning this side. So Control C. I should in fact not do this super part, but do this part. And yeah, perfect. So if you notice now right hand side, once we have added this header part correctly, so now at least I'm getting some output. The 2018 World Cup was won by France. Yeah, I think I recall that it was France versus Croatia, and yeah, they won it. Okay, I think I can rerun it and see. Answer will be same definitely, but since it's a artificial intelligence side, so they will do the wordings differently. Most likely. Let me see what the wordings is. Oh, it's the same wordings again. Okay, I clicked twice, and so yeah, if you notice in line number 61 over here, they are concatenating. They are not letting the past output go away. So this is the first output, and second time it says is World Cup was won by France, who beat Croatia 4 in the finals. Yeah, you can keep doing this, it will keep expanding and all so and so forth. Yeah, so yeah, I've made it a very simple code. I've hard coded the question also. You can take the question as an input from the user, but in principle I wanted to show you a very simple code of JSON which you can use to get the output. And rest of the things, cosmetic things, of course, will be separate. But yeah, the main functionality, the core functionality is over here. So that's all. I hope this video is useful to you. If you have any questions or suggestions, then please put in the comment section below. And if you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.